Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday. Means we're back in the writing workshop. Welcome to everybody who's here. I hope you've had an awesome weekend. A pretty quiet one. Apparently I needed lots of sleep. Apparently my browser is not currently showing what it should. Give me just a second. Chrome is being Chrome. It's not showing what it should. Give me just a moment. Oh, there we go. Okay. Because I had the window minimized. Of course. Okay. Appreciate each and every one of you who is here. And I'm hoping that I can make some more progress on the chapter like I did last time. That was really encouraging to me. I really need to add that first redeem. I haven't done that yet. Welcome in, Ogle. I think I saw a wicked hanging out here. Oop. Lurk away. Maybe that will be helpful against that ghost that's hunting you. I'm hoping that I will be able to focus on my chapter. We'll find out. Right. And yes, before anybody asks, I have done my eye drops. I have eaten, and I have snacks. So, I don't know. Well, I had food. It counts for something, I suppose. I'm gonna close this out because I don't need those. Alrighty. Alrighty. You're yelling at me for this time. Hmm. Alright, I'm reading my notes over here. Hey, Wicked! Trying to shout you out earlier, but it wasn't working. Because you didn't post a giant. Go. Frosty Tools is fantastic. Getting the wrong word. Get there eventually. Okay. Reading my notes. Sorry, I keep getting sucked into my notes. But I promise, I'm doing alright. I ended up sleeping a lot over this weekend, but it was definitely needed as I hadn't been sleeping well for a couple of nights. So, for anybody who thinks that sleep is for the weak, it is definitely not overrated. So super important. Get as much as you can. It helps you be rested and healthy. And for me personally, it helps me not get sick. Ooh, sorry. Yes, it is definitely not overrated. For whatever reason, I didn't sleep really good on Thursday night. There've been stuff going on with my nerves. I still had to go to work on Friday because reasons, you know. So I went to work and I'd only slept like 2 hours, so I was having a really hard time focusing. And for anybody that's had like a night of no sleep or very little sleep, you'll understand when I tell you that it is not a nice feeling. I felt very disoriented and like almost dizzy. It's really hard to describe. So I was at work for 3 hours and then I told my boss, you know, when I came in on Friday morning that I wasn't feeling well and that I needed to just go home. 11. I told her that I would stay that long, see what I needed to do at the front desk, and then I needed to go home after that. And I came home and slept for 3 hours in the middle of the day, which tells you that I desperately needed sleep. And then I proceeded to sleep, you know, regular 6 or 7 hours Friday night after my 3-hour nap. And then I slept 6.5. Actually, 8.5 last night, which I don't usually sleep that much unless I'm sick. So that tells me that I really needed it. And it is definitely not overrated like some people. It is absolutely necessary to survival. Because, you know, I can tell you from personal experience that crazy things happen when you don't get sleep. Start acting like you're drunk, for one thing, if you go long enough. It's crazy. So, that is my PSA this evening about making sure that you get proper sleep as much as you can. Got my notes off on the other monitor so I can look at them. They're kind of important. Okay. There we go. Yes, I do have water. It is also extremely important. I'm feeling a bit out of my depth because, as I said last writing workshop stream, it's been a while since I actually like wrote a chapter on stream. So feeling a little bit out of my element. Usually what I do on the workshop streams is editing instead of actually writing. So it's taking me a lot to do this, even with the notes. Also, we have an ad starting in, excuse me, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I will take that time to pause and get a drink of water, grab a little bit of a snack. So I'll be back after the ad is done, which is going to start in about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Keep that in mind. I do try to pause during the ads because I know that not everybody has a subscription to the channel. So I try to be conscious of it. Hey, the sniper, welcome in. There we go. And yes, I'm over here drinking my water, I promise. Trying to make sure I stay hydrated. See? Right here. Right here. I definitely don't drink enough, so that's one of the reasons why I have 40-ounce water jug next to me on the desk, because it forces me to drink water. Yep. Oh, I have one that's I think I've got one that's a similar size at work. I may actually have one that I got from work, so I may swap out to that one at work. Let me take that one back in, because I do currently have one at work as well, but it's glass. So I'm always afraid that if I drop it or knock it off the desk, it's gonna break. So I gotta find the other one. But yes, drinking water and staying hydrated is very important. Oh, were you printing some? Our ad is starting in 16 seconds, by the way. YouTube will be back as soon as this edit is over. I'm gonna start right about now. There we go. I have finally sorted out the easiest way to mute my mic, which is to not mess with it up here, actually. Yeah, right here. But I figured out how to add a mute button to the Stream Deck. All I have to do is hit that when I go on BRB. And it seems to work really well, actually. And I've got snack over here. Got some grapefruit going on. Ah, yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. I know that weekends can be kind of crazy for some of us. Appreciate each and every one of you here and chilling out with me. We've actually had a pretty quiet weekend, which I needed. Things have been pretty crazy for me lately the last little while. It's going to be another kind of crazy week at work. So, hoping that the extra rest will do me some good. Can't even type today. Food is always good. I approve. I'm actually sitting here snacking on grapefruit. So, I definitely approve of getting food. Trying to eat more fruit, so having a grapefruit was a good place to start. What I wanted to do. Okay. I keep looking at my notes to make sure that I'm following the story progression the way that I want it to. Trying not to do too much in any one point of view so that we can kind of spread it out a little bit. So that's why I keep doing my notes. now it's doing weird things because I have it in dark mode. Yeah, it's doing funky things because I've got it on dark mode. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what Grammarly is trying to tell me here. I highlight it because it's the only in dark mode it's being cranky. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes it just things that don't make sense. So that's why I always read it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one as is. Yep, gonna leave that one as it is. Trying to keep the reading level of that to not high school level. Well, not college level. Oh well. And go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Okay. My notes. It's really important when I'm doing some kind of story weaving that's this complex. As you can see here, I've got several different locations that I'm playing with, so I'm trying to keep track of where I'm at with those and not take the story too far in any one location so that it can kind of catch up. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate you. Welcome in, Vast Asynchronicity. Please tell me if I said that correctly. My name is Meshla. I am primarily an audiobook streamer. What that means in my case is that I write and read Star Wars fanfiction, and been doing so for the last 25 years, give or take. Feels like a really long time, but something I do as a hobby, and I started streaming a little over a year ago. Recently had my 1-year Twitch affiliate anniversary. I also occasionally will play Star Wars The Old Republic. That is the first MMO I ever played. I will occasionally play that on stream, and I'm looking at adding some other games into the mix. Co-op games mainly, so I can bring in other people who want to do some group content and play a little bit with my community. So welcome in, and I hope you enjoy the stream. Star Wars, actually, specifically. I have been writing Star Wars fanfiction for, yeah, basically since high school. It's been a really long time. I have dabbled in other fandoms, I suppose is the right word. So I wrote a little bit of Honor Harrington. I've written a couple of other things as well, but I always come back to Star Wars because it's my, it's my favorite fandom. I kind of grew up watching movies, reading all the books. And when I was in high school, I started writing as a way to kind of process things. A lot of people will journal or do art or things like that. For me, I find that creative writing is the most helpful to me in that respect. Yeah. Having said that, I am also a Star Trek fan. Pretty much equally so, but I think I lean a little bit more towards Star Wars than Star Trek. That's just, my personal take on it. Thank you for that shout out to Sniper. We have an ad starting in 3 minutes and 50 seconds, just so you guys are aware. Those last about 1.5 minutes. It's a great time to go get a drink of water, get a snack, have a stretch, things like that. All that awesome self-care that is super important that I sometimes forget to do, and my mods will remind me, somewhat forcefully on occasion. All of that super important self-care stuff that we should all be doing. That's what I use the breaks and the ad breaks for. I recommend that everybody else does the same. So, drinks, snacks, stretches, pet your furry kids, hug your kids, kiss your wife, that kind of stuff. I know. Shush. I still love you. out. So I will be taking a quick break once the ad starts to get myself a snack and a couple of other things like that. Currently, I am working on writing chapter 23 of the most recent story in the arc for Marin. The story is called Steps into the Past. So I've been slowly working on this chapter. I started working on it last writing workshop stream 2 weeks ago. And I'm making some slow progress. But I'm making progress. More than I can have said even a month ago. So hey, the fact that I'm making progress is pretty cool. Sometimes making progress it can be challenging, especially with writing, but it's important to keep at it. I have found that doing some storyboarding, some story flow documents. I actually ran the premise for the story through ChatGPT and actually came up with some pretty nice kind of story flow stuff. I had it kind of output it as in story format, so it gave me some really nice kind of general things to follow, which was actually very helpful to me. So sitting down with that on my other screen, and I've been able to kind of cross-reference it and kind of build out the different scenes that I've been working on. Taking some work, but I am exercising my writing muscles, which, like any kind of exercise, is very important. It's important to keep using those skills so that you can keep using them. Even if it's something as simple as sitting here and writing in a Google Doc. I actually find that it's better to do it that way, at least for me, so that I can make adjustments and corrections as needed. I also use something called Grammarly to help with the wording, but sometimes that doesn't always work. Oh, it's telling me I need to improve clarity here, so let's look at what it says. Our ad is going to start in about 22 seconds. Oh, ad is starting, so I will be right back. Alright, and we are back from our ad break. I do try to keep tabs on those. It's a little bit harder when I'm actually gaming. I do that because I know that not everyone is able to subscribe to the channel, so I do try to tabs on that and, you know, not do things during the ad breaks if I can help it. Also, like I said, it's a great opportunity to take a little bit of a break, get a stretch, get a snack, get a drink, things like Hey, Coffee Crystals, welcome in. I hope you're having a good evening. Good to see you. I am just over here poking at my chapters. I know, I'm actually writing again. I know that might be shocking to some of you. But hey, I am doing the writing. So I'm actually excited about that. I do hope you're having a good evening and that you're feeling a little better. I know the last time I spoke to you at work that you were not feeling so great. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I actually went home early Friday. Needed to. Desperately needed some rest, which I did get. 3-hour naps are apparently a thing. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh no! Well, I hope you get to feeling better. I can definitely identify with not feeling awesome. So, I hope that you get to feeling better. Make sure that you're drinking lots of water and getting as much rest as you can. I know that's hard with a toddler, but definitely make sure that you get all the rest that you can. I did! Yes, definitely the toddler zoomies. I did. I came home on Friday and took a 3-hour nap. And then I still slept like 6.5 hours that night. And then last night I slept 8.5, according to my watch. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Less wonky. Less headachy, less dizzy. One of the things that I've noticed that's probably a really common symptom of lack of sleep is you can get like dizzy and disoriented. It's really strange. Yes. I'm super glad that I was able to get that much sleep because I usually don't. So, it was a very nice thing. I didn't have to go anywhere today, so that helped. My alarm went off at 6 and I'm like, nope. I went back to bed for 2.5 hours. Take it while you can. Alright. So we're over here working on chapter 23 of Steps into the Past and seeing what kind of progress we can make. For anybody who's curious, you can always catch up on the stories outside of stream. I will be reading on Wednesday, but if you'd like to catch up on your own, you can check the stories out by going to my archive of our own, which is at this link. And if you'd like to know the order to read the stories in, be this. Kind of important. So. And if you'd like me to translate any of those titles, please ask. There is also a translate command. Some of those are actually in Mandoa, but I can give you the rough translate. I appreciate you, ma'am. Sometimes when you're sick, being active is also a good thing. Gets get you some good circulation, get you some exercise. Sometimes that's also a good thing to do when you're not feeling well. In my particular case though, I needed some sleep. So that was kind of a little bit more important for me at the time. But everybody's a little different. So yeah. I church yesterday and it was cold and rainy, almost like sleeting. Weather was doing very strange things yesterday. I mean, but it is early April in New England, so I suppose I shouldn't be that surprised. We're so weird around here. Very strange indeed. Definitely being bipolar. Maybe Mother Nature's off her meds. I don't know. I can never tell. No. After 8 already. Okay. She doesn't stream it, thank you. Just my coworker. One of my best friends, actually. It's pretty awesome. Oh my goodness, I can't type. Definitely secret mission. Yep. Good catch, Frosty Tools. He's on the secret mission of the toddler wrangling. Or something like that. Yep. Helmets indeed. Frosty Tools is very snarky, let's say. Doesn't always get things correct, but definitely is an adventure. It is a very useful tool on my stream, and it definitely keeps things interesting. It's a bot that you can add to your stream that will kind of tailor the shoutouts to the person being shouted. And you can kind of fine tune it based on different styles or tones, I guess. I kind of customize it to sound like a grizzled Mandalorian veteran, kind of. We'll see how that goes. I'm still kind of fine tuning it. Go look at another chapter real quick. It's been a hot minute since I looked at chapter. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. I'm gonna take a look. Because I do not remember some of this stuff off the top of my head. Trying to remember specific. Trying to remind myself of what had been going on in the previous chapter. Yeah. There's a lot going on in this story, so I have to do that periodically. Look at my notes on the other screen. Oh, sorry, guys. Hmm. Apparently can't type very well today. It happens. Oh dear. It happens to the best of us. Look at it, sorry. Did not mean to assault everybody's eardrums. I needed to suddenly sleep. Apologies for that loud noise. But hopefully everybody's okay after that. Hey Joe! Hope you're doing well this evening. I appreciate the lurk. Just kind of poking a chapter here. Got a double shadow. AJ doesn't stream, but I appreciate that, Decipher. Welcome in, country girl. Good to see you this evening. My name is Meshla. I am primarily an audiobook streamer. What that means for me is that I write and read Star Wars fanfiction, and I also edit it and things like that. And I am currently working on chapter 23 of one of my stories called Steps into the Past. I also will occasionally play SWTOR on stream with people like Ajo, other friends. And I have actually been writing Star Wars fanfiction for 25 years. Yeah, really long time. So welcome in. Hope you enjoy the stream. And thank you for joining us. Hey Joe, thank you so much for that gifted sub to Coffee Crystals. I appreciate you. We have an ad starting in 3 minutes and 37 seconds. My ads are 1.5 minutes long. They do help support the channel. I know that not everyone can afford to subscribe to every Twitch channel they visit or follow, so I do try to be conscious of the ads and not do a bunch of talking or anything or gaming during the ads as much as I can. If I'm writing or otherwise editing, I do try to kind of take a self-care break during that 1.5 minutes. Get a drink of water, get a snack, have a stretch, that kind of thing. And it's also a great opportunity for you guys who are watching to do the same thing, so I highly encourage that. If I'm gaming, it's not necessarily as easy to take that 1.5 minute break, but I do try to when I can. Baba! Welcome in. Good to see you tonight, sir. I hope you're doing well. Good to see everybody here this evening. All kinds of people that I recognize and several that I don't, which is awesome. I'm glad to see each and every one of you here this evening. And I hope that you're enjoying the stream and having a chill evening as much as you're able to. Oh goodness, I can't type. I see that Jeff emote. I'm doing really well this evening. I was telling chat earlier that I got a lot of rest, which I desperately needed. So, feeling a lot better than I was on Friday. Sleep is important. And I know that there are those of us in my community who have difficulty with sleeping. So, get as much as you're able to safely. I know for me, I do not function well on anything less than 5. And Friday, or Thursday night, I got all of 2 hours. So I went to work because I had to. But then by 11, I went home because I couldn't focus. And took a 3-hour nap. And then still slept that night. And then I slept 8.5 last night. So I apparently desperately needed it. I know for me, if I get several nights of little sleep or not very good sleep in a row, I will actually start to get sick. Because my immune system is somewhat compromised. So I make every effort I can to get as much sleep as I can. You know, whenever possible. Sometimes even with that, I just don't sleep sometimes. So I guess my PSA today is get the sleep that you can. It's very important. You know, so do the best that you can to get sleep as much as you're able to. And make sure you hydrate, because my mods are going to yell at me if I don't. Yep, I have water right here because I don't drink enough. Oh, here's our ad break. I'll be right back. There we go. We are back from our ad. Also, please let me know if you guys are having trouble hearing me. I've been adjusting my levels a little bit. Trying to not have the music be too loud, but loud enough that you guys could actually hear it. So, do let me know if any of that is a problem. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Sometimes I get the music too loud, sometimes I get me too soft. It's a delicate balance, apparently. So I'm still learning how to fine-tune all of that. Oh, interesting. There should be music on the stream. Don't know why you wouldn't be. Because it's definitely spiking my audio meters. It's there. Not super loud. Which is, you know, I want it to be heard, just not over me. I can turn it up just a little bit if you'd like. Oh. There it goes. Oh goodness. Yeah. I tend to run Hillhop, which is a music service that does kind of lo-fi, kind of, I guess, coffee shop type music. Lo-fi, hip-hop, that kind of stuff. Rather than playing the more commonly known stuff. Because anytime I try to play anything else, I get muted. So I don't. I have discovered that that is kind of better for me to do that kind of stuff rather than play the more, I guess, popular music. Plus, I'm very picky with my popular music. So, I figured doing the chill hop and the lo-fi would be kind of cozy vibe and what I was aiming for anyway. So, we'll see how that goes. Okay. Oh, try not to spike my mic at the same time. Oops. Anyway. Rounded something real quick. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Grab the wrong window. Thank you for stopping by to Sniper. I hope we have a good stream. Be winding down here in the next little while. About 15 minutes or so. Because unfortunately, I have to go adult in the morning and go back to work. What? Yes, Chopper, I said it. I have to go back to work. I'm sorry. Oh dear. I said the evil four-letter word. I know. I'm terrible. I know, I'm super evil and I said the four-letter word. Shame on me. Nice. I have my moments. Thank you for Rusty Tools. I appreciate you. Oh, not Rusty Tools. Sorry about. Wow, I can't read today. Sarabot is fantastic at helping combat spam. Highly recommend if you're a streamer. well, I've made at least some progress. Not as much as I would have hoped, but some. Picking up the actual writing after, oh, probably a year? At least it feels that way. Picking up the actual writing after that long is definitely challenging, but it's like exercising any skill that you have. It's be challenging at first, but keeping at it, even if it's little bits here and there, is really important. So I'm actually really glad that I was able to kind of find the muse again and actually continue the chapters. I'm hoping for another chapter or two after this one for this particular story, but we'll see how far we get. There's a particular point I want to get to in the story that I'm not ready to share just yet, but hopefully we'll get there. And I will be reading this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on Twitch. We have been reading one of my stories called Age of Darkness, and we will be continuing on Wednesday with chapter 22, probably reading 22 through 24, depending on the length of the chapter. We might get to 25, it really depends. I usually read for 2 to 3 hours, depending on how I'm feeling. So hope to see you all there. And I'm going to start looking for a raid target. Just a second here. We're gonna swap screens. All right. Oh. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who stopped by tonight. Oh, sorry, my hair is being ridiculous. I'm grateful for each of you who stopped by this evening, and I hope that you have enjoyed the stream. As always, please feel free to ask any questions about what I'm writing or my general writing process, or the story or characters themselves. Happy to answer what questions I can, especially here in the writing workshops. That's kind of what they're for. Also, if at any point that you would like to bring your own work or some feedback in the writing workshop, definitely let me know. Happy to help as much as I'm able to. I'm by no means a professional writer, but I do try to offer constructive feedback and criticism as needed or wanted to hopefully help other writers or other creatives improve their work as much as they can. I'm gonna look for a main target here. Give me just a minute while I get that sorted. I would greatly appreciate if all of you guys could hang around for the raid. This first raid command is for anybody who is subscribed to the channel, as it has subscriber-only emotes. Okay, you can go ahead and snag that if you are a subscriber. And if you are a follower of the channel or someone who has simply joined us to watch for the evening, you can snag the second raid command. I'm going to take a look and see who is streaming at the moment. I am looking around for a raid target. Okay, well, not finding who I wanted to, so let's... You know what? I'm gonna go say hi to Ronan. He's a fellow Survivor Squad stream team member, and he is currently playing Star Wars The Old Republic. So let's go say hi. Give me just a moment while I get that raid message copied for myself. So that I have that in hand. Then we head off that way. Oh, I'm failing at navigating today. Alright. Alrighty. Go say hi to Ronan. Hope you guys all have an awesome evening and a great start to your week. Definitely get as much rest as you can tonight as you start your new week. And I hope to see you all on a Wednesday. Bye guys, have a good night.